LSU's going bowling. They're going to go play Texas. They're going to go to the Texas Bowl and play Kansas State. Interim head coach Brad Davis spoke with the media yesterday, said it's a proud moment for the LSU Tigers.
This is really a proud moment for our team. We played some good football down the stretch. And I tell you what, being invited to this bowl game, really it lends to the toughness that's in our team, the kids that are in that locker room, the leadership that those guys exemplify. So we're really excited to go out there and have an opportunity to compete and really to finish this season, send our seniors out on a winning note.
There was always a lot of talk, Mario, about if LSU should accept the bowl invite and they get there, if they were able to get there. Because, let's be honest, for a while, it didn't look like they were going to be in position to do that. It looked like 5-7 was almost inevitable for the majority of this year. But like Brad Davis said there, this team played a lot of great football down the stretch. They fought hard. They got to 6-6. I'm glad, personally, that they're taking this bowl invite. A couple different reasons. Number one, what he said, send your seniors out the right way. LSU has not played in a bowl game since the national championship game. That is the last time. So there's guys on this team who haven't gotten to experience that yet. Your freshman class from last year, they've never gone to a bowl because you sat out bowl season last year. Get them in there. I think that's great for great experience for them. You get the 15 extra practices, helps you build towards next year. Gives Brian Kelly, albeit from afar, but it gives him a chance to get eyes on this team really for the first time, see what he's going to have coming back. Even some of the coaches that maybe he's considering retaining, see how they interact in a practice setting and whatnot, and just kind of give everybody one last hands-on run with this team.
Exactly, this team. You said at the very end right there. That's exactly why I'm glad that LSU is playing in any bowl game. Like you said, you wish you had an opponent with a little bit more cachet than Kansas State. You wish you were going, I guess, to a new destination. LSU has been in the Texas Bowl before a couple of years ago when they played Texas Tech. But all that being said, you're happy that the guys, like Coach Davis said, get an opportunity to go out there, play one more time, and finish this season strong. And that has to be the motivation just for the players, getting to finish this season. They went through a whole lot of adversity, but this is the payout at the end. They had to work for that game against Texas A&M and get the win at the end, and this is the reward. One more opportunity to show everybody what you got, whether that be Brian Kelly and next year's staff for this LSU football team or whatever NFL eyes are on these players.
For what it's worth, LSU has opened up. LSU has opened up as a 2.5-point favorite according to DraftKings in that game. The total right now sits at just 46, so many expecting a low-scoring game in the Texas Bowl.
Yep, should be. I mean, these are two defenses that, have played much better in the second half of the season, especially LSU. I know Damone Clark's going to have a lot of motivation to go out there and have a good game after he was snubbed for the Butkus Award. So two teams that kind of have similar styles, I guess.
Yeah, you brought up Damone Clark.
You have thoughts?
It sucks. It sucks, but, it wasn't all that. We both sat here on this show and said, Damone Clark is going to come in second in the Butkus, and it's going to go to Nakobe Dean from Georgia. And what happened? He came in second, and it went to Nakobe Dean in Georgia. Should it have? Absolutely not. Damone Clark had more solo tackles than Nakobe Dean had total tackles. So, of course, it shouldn't have. But Georgia was the best defense in college football. He was the starting linebacker on that team that, aside from exposing themselves as frauds, once again in the SEC championship game, were the best team in the country all year. That's how awards are decided. It sucks. Damone Clark's the best linebacker in college football. Everyone who really paid attention knows that.
Well said, man. And anybody who pays attention to this game will hopefully get that same idea. But the one thought that I'll add is that it kind of reminds me of 2019. Grant Delpit won the, the Thorpe Award for LSU, when there were probably people on some lesser teams, at least from a win-loss standpoint, that were a little bit more deserving, but just par for the course, I guess. Like you said, anybody that's watched Damone Clark play this season kind of knows what it is.
You could make the argument that his teammate Derek Stingley was the best defensive back in college football that year. You could make that argument even. But no, it's just it's a bummer, but that's just kind of how award season goes in college football, and I'm really bummed for Damone Clark because he deserved that award. But
And one last thought I'll have about the bowl is I'll be surprised if you see many, if any LSU players opt out here. I mean, some guys are probably headed to the NFL, but a lot of people, number one, want to show what they have, like they said, on film for hopefully playing at the next level for whoever they're playing for. And I'm sure there's a lot of motivation to just finish the season. Again, these guys have been through a lot, not just from a win-loss standpoint, but you know, everything that happened off the field. Obviously, Coach O getting let go and all the awkwardness I'm sure that created. There's a lot of motivation for guys to play in this game, regardless of the destination, regardless of the opponent. And I'd be surprised if we saw many or if any LSU players opt out.
I'm in agreement with you on that. I mean, I think the majority of guys who would be in that position for LSU this year are either hurt for the year or, I mean, maybe even already opted out or have transferred out of the program. so many of the guys in there playing right now are seniors. Now, I'm not saying that no one will, because of course somebody will. I'm with you. I don't see that. I mean, take a guy like Ed Ingram, for example. I mean, that's someone who made his decision to come back to LSU, has given his all, has had a really interesting journey while at LSU. And he's going to be an NFL player. Like, I mean, the guy could be a round 2, round 3 pick. You've seen guys in that position opt out before, but could you see really somebody who's been through what he's been through at LSU, made the decision to come back, has fought through all the adversity this entire season, and really been one of the vocal leaders on that adversity throughout the entire season? I see a guy like that wanting to stick it out and go one more round with his guys, one more game in the purple and gold. So I'm with you. And for what it's worth, Brad Davis yesterday said that no opt-outs have come across the desk yet. So, I mean, if they do, they'll update us on that when it happens. But everyone was really excited about going to the bowl yesterday when it was announced. So, I mean, look, that just speaks to it. We're so used to LSU just going to a bowl game every year. Well, they didn't do that. And the reason last year, we know what it is, but it's still 21 and 22 years now. And that broke a streak last year. And now you actually have a class of that aren't like a sophomore class on campus at LSU that haven't gone to a bowl game. I mean, when is the last that has happened in 20 years? For
sure, man. And on the same token, the young guys too. It's one more chance to watch them. Jack Bash has had an awesome season. Let's see what he could do one time out. I know Jay Roy has been hurt, but Coach Davis was also talking about guys that have been hurt, maybe getting the opportunity to come back since this game's not being played until January 4th. So maybe guys like him can come back as well. And like you're seeing some of these guys maybe put on for the last time in an LSU jersey, you're also seeing a lot of these guys one more time before the offseason that are going to be a huge, huge part of this program going forward.